The single best trick when reversing is to hold the steering wheel with your left hand on top of it. That'll allow you to keep a reference point to which you can come back to know when your wheels are straight. For example, when parking at 90 degrees. I start with my steering wheel straight and the wheels also straight. So I position my hand on top of the wheel and I turn the wheel all the way to the right while keeping my hand in that position during the whole maneuver. Then I back up until the car is straight. Now, since my steering wheel is turned all the way to the right, I'll just need to bring my hand to the top again twice and I know that my wheels are straight. So whenever I start turning the steering wheel and my wheels are straight, if I turn it less than one turn, I bring back my hand on top once to straighten the wheels. If I turn it more than one turn, I bring it back twice. A very common problem with students is that they play way too much with the wheel with both hands when reversing. Then they don't have any idea of how much they turned it and how the wheels are positioned. And from then on, it's mission impossible to straighten the car. Also, in some places, in order to have a better position when reversing, you're allowed to unbuckle your seatbelt. So holding the wheel on top allows you to get a better position to turn your body and free up your other hand. But only do this if you're allowed to do it where you're driving. If you need to reverse for quite a distance, up to this post for example, straighten your vehicle and your wheels as much as possible before you start reversing, put your left hand on top of the steering wheel, and reverse while keeping the steering wheel as straight as possible, while very slightly correcting if needed, and back up until you're aligned with the post. Then when you reach the post, turn the wheel all the way to the right, back up until the vehicle is straight, then bring your hand to the top twice to straighten the wheels, and keep backing up with the wheel straight, adjusting slightly if needed. Now when reversing, the back of the car always goes towards the direction where you turn the steering wheel. So if for example I turn my wheel to the right, it'll reverse towards the right. But there's still some confusion about this for some people. I've had a few comments from people that said that their car goes in the opposite direction of where they turn the steering wheel. It doesn't. What may cause that confusion is if you grab your steering wheel by the bottom, the 6 o'clock position, which in fact is the trick to remember how to reverse with something attached to your car, like a trailer for example. If you then move your hand towards the left and reverse, the back of the trailer will go towards the side you moved your hand, the left, but the steering wheel and the back of the car are still going towards the right. And anyway, your hand is only going towards the left on the bottom half of the steering wheel. On the top half, it's going towards the right, but all along, the steering wheel has been turning towards the right. So that's what may cause some confusion. And I hope I didn't confuse you even more now. But bottom line, the back of your car always goes towards the direction where you turn the steering wheel. And if you have a trailer attached, the back of the trailer will go towards the opposite direction. So you can use this trick if you need to reverse with the trailer. When you put the stick in reverse, these white lights will light up. So beware when passing behind someone who is parked backwards. And that is especially true in places where there's a lot of movement, like the parking spots closer to the main entrance of a shopping center. It is true in any case though, so be aware of that. You can use these also as a pedestrian. For example, let's say you want to go to your car here and you're about to pass between your car and the one in front. If there's someone in the car in front and the white lights turn on, the driver is about to reverse and might not have seen you. So it could be dangerous to pass between the two cars. In this case, it's a better idea to go around the back of your car instead. Talking about lights in the back of your car, don't forget to also put the flasher to the side where the back of the car is going when you're reversing. So if you're exiting this parking spot to the right in order to go towards the left after, you put the flasher to the right when reversing. Now I've had a lot of comments on the fact that you should look in your mirrors when reversing instead of looking back. Here's the reason why I prefer looking back most of the time. When looking in a side mirror, you'll only see what's on that side and not the other one. And when looking through the central mirror, you'll only see something or someone when they're already behind the vehicle. Side mirrors are better to gauge your distance when you're reversing next to some obstacles, like other parked vehicles for example. By turning your head and looking back, you'll also see through the back windows. So that lets you see someone as they are approaching the vehicle, allowing you to brake in advance. However, in some vehicles, you won't see much to the sides, so in that case, you can use the mirrors more. In others like trucks, you don't even have a back window, so you won't have any other option but to use the mirrors. But in vehicles where you can see clearly through the back windows, I prefer that since you have a wider angle of view. Let me give you an example of a real situation that happened once at someone's driving test. The guy was backing up to do his final parking 90 degrees in reverse when someone passed behind his vehicle. He waited for the person to pass, but when passing behind the vehicle, the guy dropped an envelope. So he turned back and bent over to pick it up. But since the student was looking in the central mirror when reversing, he never saw that and failed. Would he have been looking back? He probably would have seen the guy coming back. So where should you look when reversing? The mirrors? The back window? I prefer looking back. Then when I need to see if I'm too close to something, I use the mirrors. Now this being said, if you're required to do one or the other where you're passing your test, then obviously that's what you need to do. Of course, nowadays lots of vehicles have cameras that allow you to see what's behind the vehicle and will also warn you with a sound if you get too close. But in most places, at the exam, you're still required to do your regular verifications when reversing. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching.